Welcome everyone to the 6th annual Rose Up live celebration. We are so excited you're here with us. We cannot wait to celebrate with you. Happy Rose Up Day. It's just a great day. My name's Lydia Sand. I'm calling from Omaha, Nebraska, and I'm thrilled to be one of this year's co-chairs.
Hi, friends. Chad here from Metro DC, Alexandria more specifically. And I second that. Happy Rose Up Day. Can you believe we're celebrating year 6 already? 6 years of rosing up. Amazing. And doing it all together. What started in the middle of a global pandemic has become a tradition we all look forward to. Isn't that right, Andrew?
Exactly, Chad. Hi, everyone. I'm Andrew from Kansas City. And for those who don't know me, welcome. We've had an amazing 6 years, and we've seen so much cool stuff this year and have enjoyed seeing so many new people and passions for our efforts.
One of the things that really stood out to me this year was seeing how creative and committed people were with their Rose Ups. With their Rose Up activities. For some, I can't speak this evening.
That's you got it, Chad. We believe in you.
Maybe it's because this jacket is so hot and waterproof. And you should have one if you have the opportunity to get it with your swag.
It's a good plug.
Thanks.
Good shameless plug.
That's why they pay me the big bucks. From songwriting to tattoos, and even a few folks who organized events, everyone really leaned into the spirit of the campaign. It's been inspiring to see how each person made it their own while staying connected to our shared mission. All right, enough about that. Let's move on. Lydia, what was your Rose Up this year?
I'm so glad you asked, Chad. I actually did my Rose Up this morning, and it was a great way to kick off Rose Up Day. I hosted a workout class at the gym I've been going to. It was awesome. I had some friends there. My mom was able to come. Some people I didn't even know that I got to talk to about what CF is, and some of them even donated, which is the best part. It was just a great way to start the day sweating for CF, and it was the best energy. Andrew, how about you? What did you do for Rose Up?
Oh boy, Lydia, I hosted my 5th annual Rose Up Games, which are our competitive games that are involved around educating on what it's like to live with CF. We had a great turnout, our most registrants to date, and we had our most exciting finish with the top 3 all finishing within 5 seconds of each other. It was a real barn burner, and our winner got this trophy that they got to take with them. It's got this nice little rose here on top. Yes. So very, very lucky for them. So it was a blast. It was great.
That sounds awesome.
You know, we often say Rose Up is more than a single act. It's really a mindset, a lifestyle, perhaps. What does that mean to you all?
You know, for me, the lifestyle really comes down to community. I feel when we started this event 6 years ago, being able to connect with others with CF all across the nation has been so impactful. And every year on Rose Up Day, I'm just overwhelmed by seeing how creative everyone is, seeing the uniqueness that they bring to sharing their CF story, and just having that awareness and that hope. And it's been so exciting. So to me, I think the lifestyle is really the community aspect and the hope that it gives me on Rose Up Day, but all throughout the year.
Nice. I love that, Lydia. For me, Rose Up and that lifestyle is really all about who you rose up for. That's kind of like been a big part of all my advocacy work with CF. And for me, I rose up for all of those who don't have that access to the resources that they need. We know with CF, there are so many extra hurdles that are tossed in, and it just can all get really overwhelming. So I feel like helping them fight, whether it's raising money, advocating, whatever the call is, that's what I rose up for, and that's what Rose Up really is important to me for. So.
Awesome, Andrew. For me, it's about staying connected with this amazing CF community. Every year, I'm inspired by the ways everyone roses up to advance the mission. So thank you to everyone turning in tonight, and to all of you who have participated this year. We've loved seeing all the creative ways you've shared on social media. And before we go further, I want to give a huge shout out to introduce all-stars who make this event possible.
Happy to give a huge shout out to our amazing committee, who are all adults living with CF. How epic is that? I think that should just be a round of applause in and of itself. But in addition to myself, Andrew, and Chad, who we again are the co-chairs, we have an amazing committee who shows up for meetings, who get a lot of emails from us. They give a lot of feedback, and their value and input are so critical to making this event a success. Our committee members for 2025 are Devin Broadbent, Eamon Tracy, Elle Kellner, Heather, or as she's known for us, Heat McCoy, Katie Parker, Casey White, Krista Wallace, Marissa Bencha, Madison Deaton, Nor Elshar, and Summer Love. Can we get a huge round of applause in the chat for our amazing committee members? We really couldn't do this without you. Thank you for all of the time you've given over this last year and helping plan to make Rose Up a success. Okay, shifting gears. It's now time to introduce someone who many of you may know, maybe you don't, but you're gonna love him. Let's give it up for Pat Feeley, the Foundation's Chief Development Officer.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's been 6 years, and I'm just so excited to be here tonight with all of you. Lydia, Chad, Andrew, my gosh, I can't believe you have been chairing this event for 3 years in a row, and just fabulous. You're doing such great work. You inspire all of us to do great things in support of our community. I just wanted to give a shout out to the entire Rose Up community. I wanted to share a little story in that some of you may know that each year we produce a 65 Roses calendar. And it's especially focused for people that support us at any level. But anyway, I'll share a little story in that yesterday I was on the phone with just a wonderful woman. Her name is Eileen, and she's been supporting us for over 50 years. And she shared the loss of a friend that she had with cystic fibrosis, and that she never forgot and never will always support the organization. And she looks forward to the calendar every year. And I told her in this phone call, I'm looking at the calendar, and I said, my favorite month is September. And I said, it's a pink rose in the calendar. And she said, oh my gosh, my favorite month is February, and that's my mom's birth month. So it was such a warm conversation, and I thought to myself, oh my gosh, tomorrow night in the month of September, I'm going to be on the phone with so many people that rose up to support the organization. And I told her how excited I was to celebrate with all of you just the great accomplishments that we've had since she had unfortunately lost a loved one so many years ago. So I told her that we're putting up a great fight, and we've got, I said, we have adults with CF who are now the engine, adults with CF who are raising money for the foundation, and they're giving back to make a difference for everyone in our community. We still have a long way to go. We know that this fight is not easy. You know, when modulators came out before the pandemic, everyone thought, oh my gosh, we got this. Of course, we all know that not everyone can take a modulator. But we also know now that there are many people who are on a modulator that are still facing incredible complications, whether that's infection or friends of mine who their son unfortunately had a liver transplant recently. This disease is not easy. We've made tremendous progress. We have 17 therapies that have been approved by the FDA to treat all conditions, different aspects of this disease. And it's all made possible because of you driving the engine. You as people with CF, friends of people with CF, family members, outer circle members, companies, businesses, foundations, joining in our community to make such a difference, to drive towards success so that we can do more to help people today and help people tomorrow. I think when I first started with this organization, back in September of 2019, I never imagined that I would be in the arc of so much change, so much progress, but also so much sobering reality. I sit here today in DC, only a few miles from our headquarters in Bethesda, and I am reminded of the work that we still have yet to achieve together. And so I just want to say thank you to everybody that has been involved in this effort. You represent the best of the best. You are our community. We embrace you, we give you hugs, but you energize all of us to do more and to do better. And so tonight, I want to thank our chairs. I also want to thank our mission speakers who are up after me for sharing their story, for doing the hard work, for making a difference. You are our inspiration, and we have a long way to go to make CF stand for Cure Found. And so I'm excited on behalf of our great organization, on behalf of the executive team, on behalf of the chapter staff, on behalf of the clinicians who work for the CF Foundation, the caregivers out in our care center network. All of them are behind this message right now in saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And please never give up hope. It is you that make all the difference in our work to cure this disease. So back at you to our fabulous co-chairs. You are remarkable, and this is a very special evening. Just one evening out of so many yet to come.
Wow. I think I speak for all of us when we say thanks, Pat. That was really, really awesome. Very well said. And with that, we're going to take that energy from Pat and that awesome message, and it's now time we've all been waiting for a little rose up chat with some wonderful, amazing members of our community that Pat alluded to. We got Julia, Karli-Ann, and Pete. I'm going to give you a little introduction here to each of them. So Julia Emmert is a teenager with CF from outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is her second year participating in Rose Up. And a fun fact about Julia is that she looks forward to her internship at UPenn each week, researching CF cells almost as much as she looks forward to the new Summer I Turn Pretty episodes. So Julia, welcome, great to have you. Then we've got Karli-Ann Reinbach, who's a loving mother to 2 daughters with CF, and this year's Rose Up Ambassador for the Ohio and Indiana chapters. She lives with her husband and kids in Indiana, and when she's not chasing around her toddlers, she can be found curled up with a good book and still obsessing over wild theories about the next book in the Fourth Wing series, which we may or may not have talked about a little bit already. And last, we have Pete Denmark. Pete is a big brother to Bryson Porterfield and who is currently battling CF. Pete is originally from Vidalia, Georgia, but living in Hawaii. We're all very jealous of you, Pete. This is his first year participating in Rose Up, and a fun fact is that Pete has hiked parts of the Appalachian Trail, and he loves cliff diving and jumping. So welcome, Julia, Karli-Ann, and Pete. We're so psyched you guys can join us.
Thanks for having us.
Well, I can't wait to get this started. We could talk about so many things, but I actually want to first start by hearing from each of you more about your CF story and why you decided to Rose Up. Julia, would you be willing to share first?
Yes, I would. So thanks for the introduction. I'm, as they mentioned, 17 years old in my senior year of high school. Also, am I glitchy?
We can hear you.
You're good.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay. And I've been living with cystic fibrosis since birth, which has meant countless hospital stays relying on a feeding tube for nutrition, lots of breathing treatments and medications, and now trying to manage CF-related diabetes on top of it. Growing up, I often got more sick than other kids my age and more easily, but I've still always aimed to stay as active as possible. And the CF Foundation has played such a huge role in my life. Their work has directly added years upon years onto my lifespan because of research that has led to Trikafta, the modulator I'm on, as well as hope for the future. That's why I decided to get involved this year with Rose Up. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing, Julia. Karli-Ann, would you be willing to go next?
Yes. So my stories with cystic fibrosis starts about 2 years ago. I didn't honestly even really know what cystic fibrosis was until I was about 20 weeks pregnant with my first daughter, Carter, and they saw markings on her ultrasound. There was a good chance she was going to end up with cystic fibrosis, especially once we confirmed through blood testing that both my husband and I were carriers. Neither side of our family had any history of cystic fibrosis. So the coming back half of my pregnancy was really just filled with absorbing the information, talking to genetic counselors, learning what this condition would be, and preparing in case she had it. She did end up getting diagnosed at 2.5 weeks, and it was a long road. The first, honestly, 2 years of her life, getting her on the right medication, figuring out a groove, a routine. She had a lot of digestive and like eating symptoms related to her CF. And when she was 4 months old, we actually found out that we were going to have another daughter. And she had the same markings in her ultrasounds. So we kind of automatically prepared in that case as well. But thanks to testing, we were able to find out at 2 days old. And we've had a little bit of a smoother ride so far with her. But we've been really lucky thus far. They're 2 and 1 now, and their journeys have been honestly, like, we're really grateful with how smooth everything has gone. We've been able to manage hospitalizations, and with their daily treatments and medication, we have a really good balance. And I rose up for them. They do have nonsense mutations, so they are not eligible for the modulators on the market right now. And so, really my goals through Rose Up was to just spread awareness. And that's why I rose up.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And last but not Pete, would you be willing to share your CF story and why you chose to Rose Up?
Absolutely. Just thank you to the foundation and thank you to everybody else that shared so far. Those stories right there is exactly why I chose to Rose Up. But for me, it's really personal. My little brother, Bryson, has been battling this disease his whole life. And just watching him have to learn, basically how to fight just to breathe, it really just changed me, watching that as a kid. And he had to learn how to fight to breathe before he could even hold a bottle. It changed me watching my little brother fight like that and me powerless, not able to do anything. So then it definitely molded me into who I am a little bit today. So when people ask me why I chose to do what I did for Rose Up, it's pretty simple. It's because of every inch that I got, it represents someone fighting to breathe, someone like my brother. And when you see a loved one fight like that, it really makes you change your perspective on life. And this is more to me than what people can just see. This is permanent, and it's a reminder of the fight, the hope, and the community that CF brings together. So I decided to Rose Up because I don't want to sit on the sidelines no more and hear about the good stuff and watch everybody raise funds and, further the research. I want to be a part of the solution. I want to raise awareness, and I want to help push for the day where CF is, standing for cure found and not just something we have to fight every day. So, but that's why I chose to Rose Up.
That's amazing. You guys are inspiring. And for those of us who are older with CF, it's wonderful to know that there is a younger generation and a younger group of moms and parents who have young kids with CF, and those that are continuing to stay in this fight with us. So it's incredible. Thank you so much. All right. Karli-Ann, can you share a little bit about what you did to Rose Up and how you turned your activity into a fundraiser?
Yeah, so my Rose Up was mostly focused on awareness. I am not able to speak from the perspective of someone that has cystic fibrosis, but I am able to speak from the perspective of someone who loves people who have cystic fibrosis and who is charged with the task of advocating for them and raising them. And so I really focused on filming a lot of videos into the daily insights, making their medicine, talking about what the daily schedule looks like when you're balancing treatments and everything with young kids. And so that was really my goal, was that spreading of awareness. And then in tandem with that, I did a dining fundraiser locally to help raise funds as well. So that was my goal.
That's awesome. Thank you for continuing to spread awareness and share the CF story. What about you, Julia?
Okay, so this year I organized a fitness-based fundraiser called Sweat for CF, because fitness has always been a huge part of my CF journey, especially weightlifting, which has helped me gain strength in a way that is healthy, because with CF, a lot of times, a lot of people struggle with gaining weight, including me, so I wanted to do it in a way that kind of felt like I was taking control of my body. So I partnered with a local gym that I go to, and together we held a boot camp style event. And to build it out, I reached out to local businesses, was able to get sponsorships for them and gift card donations from restaurants and even Feeley tickets. So they pulled through. And in the end, we were able to raise over $5,000, which was really cool to see that I was able to push past my limits and organize all of this with school and everything. But it was amazing to see all the people who came and were able to make a sold out class and literally pour every ounce of sweat into the challenge, which I could say was rough as someone who participated. And one of the highlights for me was getting a shout out from Julia Ray, who is a pretty big celebrity with CF. So that made the whole experience even more special.
Awesome. And thanks for taking a break from AP Calc and AP Chem to be with us tonight. I never got that far in my high school journey, so kudos to you. It makes me like sweat just thinking about this.
I had an AP Chem test and it did not go well.
Well, cheers. Pete, all right. For those of us who know what you did, we're excited to see this. But before you show us, can you take a second and just tell people what you did for your Rose Up and how you turned it into a fundraiser?
Absolutely, Chad. So, guys, this year, it is my first year Rosing Up. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I didn't even know what I was doing, how to tie it into CF. I just knew I was doing it for my little brother, and that's how it started. And then luckily by good grace, I got in touch with Erin, I believe, Miss Erin. Shout out to her. She got me on the right track and got me involved and figured out how to turn this into a fundraiser. And so I dedicated my whole head basically to cystic fibrosis awareness. I know you're probably thinking like, what the heck? Yeah, I pretty much committed to getting a massive roses tattooed on the side and the back of my head as part of a campaign that I called Every Inch for Breath. It was bold and it's obviously very visible, and it was designed to spark conversation, and it worked. Within 2 days, going to the grocery store is not the same no more. Now, every time I'm in line, I know I have to go ahead and plan to allot a 10-minute conversation to tell them about the story now. So it's doing its job, and that gave me purpose, a little bit of purpose too, because now I know my brother can sit. He's in Tennessee right now, watching this, supporting it, and I know he's got that feeling that he's not alone. His big brother's right here, and obviously I care enough to sit through 11 hours under a tattoo gun, which is nothing compared to what he fights his whole life. But if he can do that, I can sit underneath the gun for a few hours. So I use social media, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff, and I documented the whole process. From me generating the idea to the tattoo session to me healing, and I'm still healing right now. I set up sponsorship tier shout outs for donors on Facebook, thanking each supporter personally. Friends, family, and even people I'd never met shown up, which was really cool. People that would just see the video off of someone sharing it, they would donate. The tattoo will be with me forever. And more importantly, the donations we raised will live on in the impact to make those that fight CF better. And I'm just so excited to keep going next year. I got more ideas.
Awesome. Can you show us?
Absolutely. Here we go, guys. Here we go. So 11 hours under the tattoo gun, and we were left with this right here. All the roses. all the way around. Let me know if you can't read the back. I'll change my head, but it goes all the way around to 65, the text 65. And all the way around to the other side.
That's amazing, Pete. Thank you so much for sharing. That's some solid dedication right there, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Well, I've seen a lot of rose ups in my day, Pete, but I don't think I've ever seen that level of commitment before in a rose up. That is really amazing.
Thank you, brother.
So last question, guys. What words of wisdom do you have for all those joining us online right now? Any messages that you think are important to send before you guys sign off? Pete, why don't we keep the momentum going with you and you kick us off here?
Absolutely, Andrew. Personally, I just, again, thank you guys for letting me be a part of this. It really has changed my life pretty much. I know that's kind of cliche to say, but it really has. Just the community. I already feel the love, the support. It's real. And so my words of wisdom are this, basically. Take it from someone like me. Don't underestimate how sorry guys. Don't underestimate the strength of your story, how powerful you are as an individual. Like your voice and your actions matter way more than you can just sit right here and think about, because supporting the CF community is it's about more than just raising this money. It's about showing those who live with CF every single day that they're not alone, that people see them, and that we care. And so what inspires me really and truly about my little brother is he just fights. He shows up and he fights. And so if they can show up every day to fight, the least we can do is show up to support them. So find your own way to rose up, because no matter how little, no matter how big you may think it is, it's going to make a difference. And it doesn't have to be permanent like this tattoo. It doesn't have to be, big or flashy. It just got to be real. It's just got to be real. And that's it. The support will come. If it's real, the support will come. And so, just do your part. And then I'll leave it with this. When we all do something, that's when it's really going to make a difference. Yeah, I could have done this by myself and tried to raise money by myself, but when we're all doing this together, that's when we become powerful. And so share your story and let's make a difference together.
Awesome. Wow. Well said, Pete. And I appreciate your vulnerability on here. That was really amazing. So shout out to you. I know your brother Bryson's probably very, very proud of you out there in Tennessee.
Love you, little brother. I love you, bro.
All right, Karli-Ann, you're up next. What do you got for us? Any messages or words of wisdom you want to share?
So something that I hear a lot when I tell people that my daughters have cystic fibrosis is they don't seem sick. And I think that with all of the progress that has been made in the cystic fibrosis community with modulators, with medicine and therapies that are on the market, it can be really easy to think of that progress and be like, hey, most people are living normal lives at this point. But it's important to not let the progress turn into complacency. And I think events like this, campaigns like this, and just making sure that our voices are heard and continuing to advocate, no matter what that progress is, it's not enough until there's a cure found, until everyone with cystic fibrosis is able to live their lives without their dreams and their wants and everything they want to do in life being impacted as a result of that illness. And so, that's, I guess, my parting gift is just like, let's continue to make sure our voices are heard. I was 25 when I learned what cystic fibrosis was. Right? I want to be so annoying that people know what it is, like by the time they get online in the first place. And I think that should be like our goal for all of us. There's never too much, not until CF stands for cure found.
Awesome. I love that. I love that phrase. I want to be so annoying that everybody knows about it. I could live my life by those words. So thank you for that. All right, Julia, why don't you close us out here? What words of wisdom do you have for us?
I completely agree with Karli-Ann, first of all. Just the amount that I try and repost about CF and maybe annoying to kids in my school, maybe, but just trying to raise that awareness. And then my biggest piece of advice with Rose Up and getting involved in fundraising is not be intimidated, because when I first heard about Rose Up and saw people running big events like mine and like getting a tattoo on his head like Pete. I thought that I could never do anything like that, but the truth is it's not about like the size of your fundraiser. It's about showing up and doing something that's meaningful to you. And whether you raise $5, $10, $50, $5,000, it all adds up in the end and it all matters. And finding something that you love, whether it's fitness, baking, art, or even just sharing your story and connecting it back to Rose Up through, it doesn't even have to be through the number 65 roses or purple, just like anything to talk about CF, and post about it with the hashtag Rose Up CF and attaching your fundraising link. And supporting the CF community is just so important because every dollar raised helps us push us closer to a breakthrough. Sorry, my computer just started dying. Rose Up is more than a fundraiser to me. It's proof that this whole CF community is stronger when we all come together, and especially with Karli-Ann, her children just still fighting for the 10% is the most important part, so they could live a life that I get to live. Yeah.
Wow, awesome, Julia. Thank you so much for sharing that. I feel like I love what you said about, kind of everybody's impact matters, right? It doesn't matter how big or small you feel it is. You can never even know the impact you have on somebody, right? How much your story might resonate. You might never even know that, but everybody's voice matters and their stories are great. So especially you three, thank you for sharing your stories and your impact tonight. It is very much felt in this community, and we couldn't thank you guys enough for coming on here. So big round of applause for you guys on coming and sharing your stories. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Wow, wasn't that incredible? I had tears brought to my eyes, goosebumps. I feel like it's always just so inspiring to hear others talk about being champions for their loved ones with CF, for Julia, who's 17 and crushing AP Chem and AP Calc and still showing up and advocating for CF. I absolutely love it. I'm just blown away. Something else that I was really excited about and realized is that 2 of our 3 panelists, this was actually their first time rosing up, which is so exciting. We love when we have first timers come into this awesome event space. There was earlier, if you were kind of perusing our cool new site, there is a polls section, and one of our questions asked how many years you've been participating with Rose Up. So we wanted to share those results right now with all of you. Okay, so we have a good spread. We have some folks who this is their first year, kind of a few kind of in between, and then we have a lot of 6-year veterans in there as well. We love to see that. Whether this is your first year or your 6th year, anywhere in between, we are so grateful that you're here showing up tonight, rosing up with us. And for those of you who, when this is your first year, we hope, that you come back. But I hope that this event really inspires you to know that this is so much more than just a one-day type of event. It really is a community. It really is a lifestyle. And so I think it's just a great observation to point out, and just excited that we have everyone returning every year.
I couldn't agree more. Seeing 25% of the people on this right now, it's their first time rosing up. That bodes tremendously well for the future of this event and for, that ultimate mission of finding a cure for CF. So, what was really impactful for me this year? The new team feature. My wife, Julie, and our son, Liam, were able to join me as a team. We could rose up together as a family, which was cool. In the past, it was always very separate. So creating a team was an awesome way for each of us to bring our own passions to rose up, but do it together and raise money together as a group towards this mission. It really reminded me that rose up is not, while it's an individual act and about individual acts, it's really about this whole community coming together to share our passions, our encouragement, and really to show that we are together for one purpose, and that's to find a cure for CF. And one of the most powerful ways we can come together is through fundraising. So as you've seen, there's still a little button, I think. I'm gonna point like I'm old and you can see what I'm pointing at, but you can't. Up there in the right-hand corner. So you can still donate tonight. I would always happily accept some cash from you guys towards my goals. So thank you. Andrew, why don't you give us a little bit, tell these wonderful folks how they can still make an impact tonight and take advantage of an incredible match opportunity.
Absolutely, Chad. I think the biggest way, it sounds like, is just cash right to your pocket is what you're saying, right?
No, it goes straight to the foundation. I just get some sweet swag from it the more that I raise.
Excellent. Love that. All right. Well, if you guys haven't donated yet, there is still plenty of time. So just click that donate link in the top right corner as Chad was attempting to point to on his camera there. On the top right of your screen, you can see Welcome to Rose Up, donate here today there, light blue. Every dollar helps us get closer to our goal and fuels the mission. And don't forget about our Rose Up match, as Chad was alluding to as well. If you guys raise $250, you'll receive a $250 match thanks to the generosity of the Delaney Binker Family Cure Cystic Fibrosis Miami Foundation. So far, we have 65 people who have qualified, which means there are 15 spots still open. So even if you're at $100, 65, or even 50, you're closer than you think, and let's double that impact and finish strong, guys. We're so close. And together, we're aiming to raise $500,000 in honor of Rose Up's 6th year, and we know we can get there with your help.
And if you're really nice to Lydia, she may pop in and push you over that $250 goal. Maybe.
That is true. I might. I did some secret donations to help get some people to the match. I was so fired up about it.
But it's only with my secret talent of not being caffeinated. You can also help spread the word by posting on social media. Whatever you share now or after the celebration, don't forget to use the hashtag RoseUpCF to show your support and inspire others to join in. Help us see your stories in the social feed on the website and boost our reach by temporarily making your social profile public if it's private. Let's break the internet together. I was told I made this joke last year, but it's like Wreck-It Ralph. So I'm going to make it again anyway. Great plug for that movie. We can break the internet like he did. And Rose Up together. Celebrate your amazing contributions.
Now we want to give a very warm thank you to this year's awesome Rose Up national sponsors who are helping to drive our mission forward. You'll see them here listed at the bottom of your screen. I'll also point, even though, again, should hopefully see them on your screen, but I see them on mine. But our national silver sponsors are Abbvie and Vertex. Our Dozen Roses sponsor is Walgreens. And our Rose sponsor is the Joey Fund. We are so grateful for all 4 of them. And now we're going to take a minute to hear from our national silver sponsors, Abbvie and Vertex.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tanya Conklin, and I'm thrilled to be with you today on behalf of Abbvie, a national sponsor of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation's peer-to-peer events across the country. As the first and longest standing national sponsor of Great Strides, Abbvie continues to be committed to the CF community. We have worked side by side with the CF Foundation for over 30 years to provide programs and resources. It's because of your relentless determination that we will not stop supporting this cause until CF stands for Cure Found. Thank you, and we hope you have a great event.
Hi everyone, my name is Suzanne Tandon from the Vertex Patient Advocacy Team. Vertex is proud to support the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation's Rose Up campaign as a national peer-to-peer event sponsor. Congratulations to everyone who's involved in Rose Up, and I hope you enjoyed the day.
Awesome. Again, thanks to all our sponsors out there. We couldn't have the impact we do without you guys, so big thank you. Oh, well, guys, it's hard to believe We're about to wrap up our live celebration of Rose Up Day.
I know, but let's be clear about one thing. You can continue to rose up in the coming months. Remember, it's a lifestyle. It's not just one day. So don't forget to post on social media for everyone to see. Like Chad mentioned before, if you're posting, we recommend using the hashtag RoseUpCF. We are so grateful for everyone who was joining tonight, for participating and registering Rose Up, to donating, to those of you who served as your chapter's Rose Up ambassador. We could not do it without you. Thank you for your creativity, your awareness and attention that you're bringing to CF, and for your unwavering support of the CF Foundation and this amazing mission.
With that, we'll close with a brief video that reminds us all why we support events like Rose Up. Now more than ever, your donations and involvement count. I know that together, we will cure cystic fibrosis. If you haven't gotten a chance yet, I'm going to say it again. You can donate now in the upper right-hand corner of this screen. There's still time. Click on the donation link at the top of the page to make a donation tonight. I think I just said that. We want every person with CF to live long, healthy lives, to go out and soak up all that life has to offer. Isn't that the whole point? See what we did there? Isn't that the whole point? The whole point.
Whole point.
Oh, guys.
I got it. It's like a dad joke. You did that one year for your Rose Up, Chad.
I did. And you know, have you heard the one about pizza?
No.
It's too cheesy. Don't worry about it. So thanks again tonight for all of you guys for joining. Don't forget to donut. Maybe I'm hungry now too. Don't forget to donate. We're closer than ever to actually making this cure thing a reality, but we have a ways to go, and we need funds to continue to do that, to improve all of our lives. So please donate if you can, or just simply spread the word. We hope you all have a great night, and we look forward to seeing you back here again next year. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.
Everyone, happy Rose Up Day.